Hello. Hi, I'm Zoe the Psychic, and today we're going to talk about the compatibility between a Sagittarius Capricorn Cusp and an Aquarius. You are both so different. You're much more intense than an Aquarius. They have a lighter energy while you have a heavier one, but somehow they manage to smooth out your darkness and make it more palatable for others to stomach. They're more carefree. In fact, being around them makes you seem more likable. I mean, don't get me wrong. The Aquarius can still hold their ground. You both often butt heads over your different perspectives. And finding a middle ground isn't easy, but you're still two peas in a pod. It's important not to talk down to your Aquarius or act like you know better. How self-aware are you? Do you realize the impact you have on everyone? Because your Aquarius sees it. You have a deep connection to the spiritual world. You're a deeply intuitive soul. Don't ignore that part of yourself. It will come in handy when you're with your Aquarius. Low self-esteem can really plague this couple. You both are very ambitious to the point of sabotage. You're such opposites. You need to make sure you can rely on them. Will they have your back when it counts? You both inspire each other intellectually, and you often come from completely different backgrounds. But somehow that doesn't sway your love. You would rely on your Aquarius a lot to navigate your life. They will mold you somewhat. You both share a very spiritual bond, and your connection is legendary. It should be impossible to be so tuned in to another person, but you and your Aquarius are very connected. Your love is extraordinary. Avoid acting like you're better than your Aquarius if you want to give this a chance. It's easy to rile them up, and try to avoid doing it too often. Feelings can get so messy and so intense. I can't get no satisfaction, and I try, and I try. Stop that. Just work on finding a balance. This is a very loving matchup, and you don't hesitate to make your love known to them. In fact, you can be very forward about it. You both tend to be creative souls. Aquarius goes at a very different pace than you. You're slower and you take more time to fully process things. You want to get to know them and you want to explore things, but just when you think you're finally at their speed, like you're finally getting to know them and finally getting to really get a good idea of their vibe and who they are and what it's like to be with them, they might be 5 more steps ahead of you. They've already started something else. It can be so frustrating to you. This tends to be a very solid dynamic. You're not the easiest coconut to crack, and yet your Aquarius figures you out. How romantic. They see how amazing you are. You often are the one to take charge. The Aquarius can distract you from your worries with their charming personality. You come from different planets, but somehow you make it work. You have to follow through with what you say you're going to do. Don't make promises you can't keep with your Aquarius. What is driving you with them? What is your true intention? The sooner you understand this, the better. There will be a lot of ups and downs, and just when you get used to riding that high with your Aquarius, you can dip to a new low. So learn to surrender to these crazy feelings, because you don't tend to pay attention to what matters the most. In fact, it can make you lose yourselves in your relationship. You rely on them too much after a while. There is nothing logical about this pairing, so stop trying to make sense of it. Your Aquarius is amazing to you. Your Aquarius is amusing to you. They're a blast to be with, and you're each other's cheerleaders. You root for them. You have your pom-poms on the sidelines going, woo, go Aquarius, and they're the same for you, and it's like this very supporting and loving relationship. But your Aquarius doesn't want someone as bubbly as them. They are really drawn to your darkness and your intensity. This is usually a diverse couple. Maybe you come from different backgrounds or different cultures or even different countries or different religions or different beliefs or different races. Just remember, not everyone is as accepting as you are. You will need to be more aware of how others react to your relationship if you want this to work. It's time to do the work on yourself. See yourself from a bird's eye view. As friends, it's important to not take your feelings so seriously. That's the only way your friendship will make it, because it can get very emotional and intense. You can hold on to these emotions. You both play very different roles in each other's lives. You don't tend to close yourself off to multiple things and keep an open mind, and you teach each other a lot. Your dynamic is very intuitive. It's like you can read each other on a whole different level. Explore your psychic abilities with them. In fact, getting a psychic reading might be a great date idea, not to talk about myself, but if you did want to get a reading, you can always book one with me. Just go to zoethepsychic.com. You can find the link to my website below too in the description. Aquarius tends to like to keep things interesting, and they exhibit unpredictable behaviors. They might take a different turn than you were anticipating. They are malleable and fluid, kind of like air. Well, they are an air sign, but can you depend on them enough? Their inability to be consistent all the time might make you anxious. When you decide to date, two things can happen. Either you realize how attracted you are to each other and you decide to date and explore things further and see where it goes, or you decide to stay friends. But it's not usually in between. At first, you usually try to be more dominant. That Saturn energy you have just wants to dominate. But your Aquarius tends to soften you. They nurture you more, and often after a while, you just don't feel the need to lead anymore. You both act like your differences aren't that big a deal. Love is love. So what if we were raised on different planets? So what if there's an intergalactic war going on? But often you put so much effort into acting like you don't care that it becomes evident that you do care. Stop saying you don't care. Stop it. You clearly do care. As friends, it becomes really clear that you can't just depend on your Aquarius whenever. Don't bother putting them on speed dial. They're fun to be around when you hang out with them, and you usually have a really good time. When you spend a lot of time together, it's really fun, but they can be flaky. But as friends, you have to be careful not to get on their bad side. You can face a lot of drama if you're not careful. Friendships with an Aquarius will feel like a roller coaster ride. It's messy. Grow up. You heard me. You both need to stop trying to push each other's buttons. It's immature because there's a lot of insecurity that happens here. Aquarius won't always tell you where they're going. Would you be able to handle that? Where were you? Who were you with? How can you keep track of them? They're your best friend and your lover all at the same time. This is a beautiful foundation. When you do get married, sex and intimacy don't tend to be a priority. The fact that you're both so different is really going to play a part when you both want to start a family together. Your children may grow up with different religious beliefs, or speaking multiple languages, or you have different roots. It's not that marriage wouldn't be successful with an Aquarius, but you both tend to have conflicting views on marriage. You might feel like marriage or settling down is a trap, or you might have commitment issues. A legally binding document is no joke to you, which would make marrying them a big deal. Being friends with them is a rewarding experience. You go through so much together, but you end up coming out the other side stronger. You're a persuasive couple and you know how to get what you want. You soften each other and balance each other out. You both bring so much to the table. It really is a one-of-a-kind matchup. Your Aquarius keeps things interesting. They stimulate you. Your social circles and your families often take center stage in this relationship. And you would be very entertained by an Aquarius. They are never boring. Thank you so much for watching my video. If you enjoyed this, make sure to comment below and let me know what you think. Do you agree with this? Do you disagree with this? Have you dated each other before? Are you interested in an Aquarius or a Sagittarius Capricorn Cusp? I would love to know in the comment section. Please subscribe to my channel, and if you're interested in learning more about your relationship or diving deeper, you can always book a reading with me on my website, zoethepsychic.com. Have a fabulous day. Bye.